About 7 days prior, I did a video examining the side gig site remote undertaking, and I feel like there's several holes in what I've expressed, so as one more week went by and I've been zeroing in stringently on remote errands, how about we get into it and I'll give more insights regarding the site, and assuming I actually suggested so as I referenced in the past video, they have a leeway. However, I ought to say they have a stage on Slack that they use to speak with every one of laborers on remote assignments, and they have a few administrators, and for me by and by. They have been extremely useful, so this is one that came out today. I saw many individuals were grumbling about MTQ, meaning they have no assignments to do, and here's the reaction: we are completely mindful of the MTQ and we're chipping away at it. Work won't ever be accessible 24/7 as the early bird gets the worm to the assignment that heap on the dashboards. Any stealing or bad quality work, you will be eliminated from the undertaking, and you won't be advised you have opportunity log in spare time. See, and errands are accessible across time regions. The administrators don't show up on Saturday or Sunday. Others specialized help, they're sitting tight for installment gives. That is assuming that you're a fledgling, yet this last one is what I needed to sort of zero in on. With more than 15 taskers, it might require an investment tool questions, yet we truly do see we were additionally chipping away the back finish to ensure the venture is filling, and depending on the situation. Thank you for your understanding and seeing so as of in the not so distant future. Generally, I've seen many individuals griping about the songbird task and having MTQ not having the option to work so without skipping a beat. Assuming you're somebody who believes that you will have the option to do this full time, in no way, shape, or form you get no opportunity of chipping away at remote errands full-time. I would cherish that in light of the fact that in view of my profit I nearly could make it a regular work, assuming I were to rigorously zero in on this. Yet an inquiry that surfaced in the last video that I did addresses, how long do I for one we buy and buy work each day to get to the sum that I'm at, and it's somewhere in the range of 30 minutes to up to around 2 hours. There was one day where I attempted to bet everything on it and do however many assignments as I can, however long I can, and I additionally ran out of tack to do it around 2 hours and 30 minutes, and so this is most certainly not a regular occupation. I've said in numerous recordings that I've done, perhaps not this one, yet like I'm attempting to drain remote errands for everything it has. I'm taking benefit while it's giving me undertakings. Me by and by, I definitely dislike MTQ, except if I bet everything I think, perhaps that is on the grounds that I'm a commentator. And there's a restricted measure of commentators. They like the work that I did when I was raising the issues, so they made me analyst, and perhaps there's simply much less analysts on the site, and I'm ready to get more assignments without truly running out. So the administrators have come on through Slack and said that they are attempting to add more undertakings. They need to go to the client who they're doing this data for, so the administrators are very much aware that there's many individuals on this site the present moment, and they're making an honest effort to delegate however many assignments as they can, yet they got to keep their client glad. That resembles assuming there's no client, there's no undertaking, there's no truly use for remote assignments. So remember that this is definitely not an everyday occupation using any and all means. Remember, I'm just on one task this moment, and what's fascinating is today they truly conveyed a thing to everybody on the site, that there was another errand accessible, and it was this dynamic Tabata dynamic information assortment projects that I'm floating around here. Essentially it was a take 3 selfies and afterward take transfer photographs of yourself from 5 to a decade prior. It took me all of 5 to 10 minutes to do, and with a reward installment that they presented for doing it immediately, I ought to make 19, so 5 to 10 minutes of work for $19. That is not piece of the Songbird project bunch, yet there are evidently various activities that go through remote tests. So when I was depicting what I do on remote undertakings and what you could do when you first sign up with the inquiry creation, practically like you're making your own visit bot answers, utilizing help from outside URLs, not copying. I think there is significantly more tasks that are reaching a conclusion. That is what the administrator on Slack expressed. So there will be more undertakings in store for the site. Basically, I trust not terrible, but not great either, despite the fact that you probably won't care for the Songbird project. I have seen individuals request to be placed on different activities. I've seen individuals in the visit discussing, gracious, could you at any point put me on the task where it resembles I take a gander at pictures and rate pictures and attempt to figure individuals' ages and stuff, and I have no clue about what they're referring to. I've never seen that. I've been so happy with the survey task on the Songbird project that I haven't genuinely attempted to get some other tasks accessible to me. I got this dynamic information assortment project just haphazardly today at noon. I finished. It's a one-time thing, received 19 in return, not whining, so I'm expecting that is great. There will be more open doors like that coming up on occasion, and I'm additionally expecting that whether I keep on working really hard on this Songbird project, when future ventures open they get more clients that request various kinds of things. Perhaps assuming that I'm doing great work, perhaps assuming I'm bringing in a ton of cash. They understand I'm a top specialist on this site. Perhaps they'll give me admittance to projects that not very many individuals will approach. They simply need the most elite. That is the thing I'm expecting. I ensure that I accomplish excellent work on this site. In the event that you won't accomplish top-notch work and you understand why even bother with making it happen, yet we should get into another thing that has been somewhat tricky for me. So when I initially fired working, and as far as possible up until the several days, quite possibly of the most amazing aspect of remote errands is their extra motivators, and in the event that you do a specific measure of undertakings each day, you can get 15 every day. And to me it was astounding. It made it certainly worth the time that you put in. Now you see this last one, it says manual reward, not too far off. So I went to the administrators since I finished the day-to-day. Some expected to get the motivating force, and it never famous. So she resembles okay, better believe it. Let me physically populate it, and we're mindful of issues with the reward impetus frameworks. The 15 came through. Well, it's happened 2 times since where I haven't got compensated the 15 motivation, and I brought it up again. I'm similar to appear as though I would rather not be irritating, like I would rather not continue to mess with you, yet like our rewards like stopped. Or would it be a good idea for me? I continue to mess with you about this. I continue to let you know when this occurs, and I haven't got a reaction back. Now I realize they're truly bustling right now since they've been taking on significantly more labor since I did my audit video. I think they've added like north of 500 specialists since I've done the survey video on my own feed about 7 days, week and a half back. So I realize they're occupied with a ton of inquiries and a ton of upkeep, and they've needed to welcome on more administrators. Thus, yet not getting the 15 reward is very huge. On the off chance that you're searching for it to be you realize long haul, I shouldn't say a long haul, on the off chance that you're searching for it to be a high measure of pay for you for a brief time frame, you realize that $15 can have each of the in effect between having like a $15 an hour rate to a $30 an hour rate. So it's critical over the long haul. So I simply needed to make that extremely understood. So about we get into the last decision toward the day's end. Like I said before, I will drain this thing until it's dry, until I can't be making a fair pay as a side gig on this site. I will continue to do it. Do I suggest you getting into it on the off chance that you've never done this before? Look, the songbird task when you're initially beginning and composing it, assuming that you get placed into that project, they're not that fun. Tell the truth. Yet in the event that you get the impetuses, can compensate fairly, assuming you get the reward and send up $15 per day. They pay well, they pay okay. In the event that you don't get the motivator, I say for the starting undertaking and not the audit task, since it takes much longer to plan the inquiries and the responses from the URL locales that you want to go to, I would agree that installment perhaps you're taking a gander at $10 an hour, so it's not as great. And as I displayed in the start of this video, there's many individuals managing MTQS, so regardless of whether you needed to do this as an afterthought, many individuals aren't even have the option to do any assignments in any case. So remember that assuming that you pursue this site, I would agree that this moment, on the off chance that you're pursuing this site, there's totally 0% chance that you can do this full-time long haul. Who knows whether they will get more activities on this site. I mean, I've recently begun utilizing this site, so I've extremely restricted information on remote assignments, and like the actual parody, all I'm mindful of is this songbird project that I got relegated to. I love it. Now that I'm an analyst, I can't say I would completely suggest it as a drawn-out second job, yet like I said, I will continue onward however long I can until I can't actually legitimize its payouts any longer. So I'll update you as often as possible. Assuming something transforms, I want to believe that you partook in this more top-to-bottom audit of remote assignment, and I'll see everybody in the following video. Make certain to leave a like in the event that you preferred the video, and buy in to see favoring my side gig excursion.